Hey guys, hopping on today to talk about how you present yourself to potential clients. Specifically that I versus we, or the we're a business versus I'm an individual. I think that for a lot of freelancers, the idea of writing their website as a shop, like as we do this, or we will help your business do this, versus I am a freelancer, this is what I do for you. I think that talking in a we tone helps people feel like they are a little bit more legitimate, whether or not there actually are more people in the company. I think that sometimes freelancers think that if I want to be taken seriously, people need to think that and I want to land work with big companies, people need to think that I am a multi-person company or a multi-person agency. So on my website, instead of saying, I do this for your company, I'll say, we do this. Again, whether or not there are actually other people. And I want to make it clear that that's really an unnecessary step, an unnecessary barrier that we create for ourselves. I think a lot of us have a lot of feelings about what is going to make us seem legitimate, what is going to make us seem more professional, what is going to make us seem more appealing to businesses. And the fact is that businesses have no problem giving massive contracts to single individuals, as long as they know that the work is going to get done well. And as our Freelance Success Framework students know, a big way of conveying that is on your website and the way that you present yourself on your website. And then, of course, too, when you're talking to the clients and you're really digging into their needs and the challenges and what this project will really entail, that is how you convey to a company that you are legitimate and that you know what you're talking about. I'm going to say it, kind of gimmicks, if you will, like saying we on your website, we will do this for you versus I will do this for you. They don't really add anything to it. And quite frankly, if you start to talk to a potential client and they're like, oh, I saw you, do you have multiple people on your team? Then you have to go down this road of like either lying, fibbing, or explaining why you said I instead of we. It's just not a great place to start off from, right? You don't want to start off with maybe a lie is too much to call it, but like a fib, a white lie, if you will, especially when it's not necessary. Look, when you do, or if you want to, you certainly don't have to eventually bring more people on your team. You don't need to subcontract. You don't need to have assistants if you don't want to. If you do, great. If you don't, whatever. But if you do eventually have more people, then sure, you can, and you want to recognize them as part of your business, then sure, you can say we. But until then, if your business is one person, it is perfectly reasonable, if not logical and natural, to say, I do this, and to make it first person about just yourself and what you do for a business. A company has no and in fact, actually, from the client perspective, it's kind of good to know that you're going to do the work, because there are a lot of agencies, and really the bigger it gets, the more you see this, but the people that the client talk to are the higher up people at an agency. But the people that actually do the work at the agency are like the lower down the pole people. So it's actually really nice for a company to know that they're talking to you in all of these conversations, and you're going to be the one who's doing the work. That's really beneficial for a company, and that really matters. They have no problem throwing money at you, to be quite frank, as long as they know that they're going to get out of it what they intend to get out of it. That's the biggest issue. It's the idea of like some kind of adding to your legitimacy. Like some people think, oh, well, I need to, if you're in the States, I need to be an LLC, I need to incorporate, versus being a sole proprietor. Now, there may be some freelance professions, and we get to it in our course, that will benefit from having limited liability, not even necessarily incorporating, but just limiting their liability. But for the most part, for many freelance organizations, many freelancers, you don't get any real benefit professionally as a professional from being an LLC versus being a sole proprietor, in terms of like a company doesn't go, oh well, this freelancer is an LLC, this freelancer is not, therefore we're going with the LLC. That's not at all how it works. That's not a decision point for a company, doesn't matter to them. So if you are going down the road of thinking, oh, I need to incorporate to seem more professional, now, you might want to incorporate if you need to limit your liability, if you're in the kind of freelancing profession that has some liability. And again, we talk about that in the Freelance Success Framework, but that's not a real mark of professionalism either. That's another one of those like, well, if I do this, I'll seem more professional. No, the professionalism really comes from putting your clients' needs first, really digging into what they need and focusing on them and focusing on how you are going to benefit their business, and conveying that at every opportunity you have, and conveying that you are a partner for them. You're a freelancer, you don't work for them, but you work with them. That is important, and that is where professionalism comes from, not gimmicks of using we instead of I on your website, or being an LLC just versus a sole proprietor. That's the stuff we try to do instead of digging in and doing the real professional work. So let all that other stuff, let all those other little like gimmicks, set those aside and focus on your business, and focus on, even more, just as importantly, focus on your client's business and how you can be the best partner that you can be, and how you can, in as many ways as possible, help them build their businesses and help them be successful. That is where professionalism really comes from.